Many of you have been seeing me deal with folks accusing my uncle of stealing the recipe from a slave or a black woman or somebody of color, period, because he was a white man. And how can a white man possibly know how to fry chicken? These are the unhinged comments that I get on the daily from people across the internet. And occasionally I will react to that and tell them the facts, that he did not steal the recipe. But I want to point something out. Colonel Sanders is the only founder of a fried chicken restaurant that is being accused of owning slaves, being accused of being racist, and being accused of stealing the recipe from a black person. And the reason why is because Kentucky Fried Chicken is the most famous franchise of fried chicken out there in the world today. Any other founder that they tried to take the name of, because Colonel Sanders, again, one of the most famous names, if not the most famous name in fried chicken, that's more believable to get people on board with that he stole the recipe from a black person than S. Truett Cathy. You don't hear anybody saying that S. Truett Cathy stole the recipe from a black woman. For Chick-fil-A, he's the founder of Chick-fil-A. And he is a white man. Now, the story is my uncle stole the recipe from a black woman named Miss Childress. And that Miss Childress was either not paid at all or paid $1,200 for her recipe, and Uncle Harley made it his own. Complete hogwash. But it's more believable because Colonel Sanders is the most famous name. He is the one coattail that everybody can chase, make accusations about, and people would believe it because of his name being so famous, Kentucky Fried Chicken being so famous, people will just believe the rumor. You don't hear anybody saying that George W. Church Sr. stole the recipe from a black woman. George W. Church Sr. was the founder of Church's Chicken, founded in 1952, the same year that Kentucky Fried Chicken was founded. But you don't know his name probably, unless you're an enthusiast of fried chicken and all the endeavors of fried chicken restaurants. You probably haven't heard his name before either. And he's not that famous of a name compared to Colonel Sanders. So you can't just say George W. Church stole the recipe from a black person, because people will be like, well, who's that? And they have to do more research into it. But you can say Colonel Sanders stole the recipe from a black person, and people would believe it and jump on it, because he's already famous. You could ride that coattail and get a lot of views and clicks for that rumor. There you go. The company doesn't bother to engage in these rumors or anything like this because it's not worth their time to get into a controversial argument. But it's not really a controversial argument because my uncle did not steal the recipe. My uncle did not own slaves. He was born in 1890. My uncle didn't steal the recipe from his wife, from his second wife, from his mothers-in-law. He didn't steal the recipe from anybody. He created that recipe. It took him 10 years to do so, 1930 through 1940. Doesn't do me any good gatekeeping it. I don't make any money. My family don't make any money off of Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'd love to work for them and represent them. I've done enough defending of their name and image, enough defending of their old quality and integrity to criticize them enough to go back to that way, which in a lot of locations I have witnessed have. I'd love to work for them and make money off of them by working, doing the stuff that I love to do, but getting paid for it. But I don't make any money off of them. It doesn't do me any good to defend something if it's not true. Heck, on my YouTube, I did a lot of research, over 3 years of research, to figure out what my uncle's 11 could be. I posted the most accurate, in my opinion, recipe to Colonel Sanders' recipe based on the facts, based off public knowledge, and also based off information that the world didn't have, but my family does have. And I put that into one recipe of 11 herbs and spices and put that on YouTube and let y'all decide what you think about it. Let you tweak it the way you want to tweak it and do what you want with it. Go buy Kentucky Fried Chicken and compare it. It does not benefit me or my family gatekeeping this recipe or the story behind it. I stand for what's right. And what's right is Colonel Sanders didn't steal the recipe. He doesn't deserve the slander against him. And my family sure as hell doesn't deserve the slander that we're getting, because people's feelings are saying that he stole the recipe. Again, all these other white founders of fried chicken joints across America, which have been around as long as Kentucky Fried Chicken and not as long as, founded by white men, are not being accused of stealing their fried chicken recipe from a black woman. But my uncle is being accused of it because he wore a white suit and he was a white man and he's the most famous name in fried chicken. It is a coattail chasing story.